What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss channel. We have a special guest in the building, one of the best running backs in all of HBCU football and all of the SWAC, Mississippi Valley State's very own Caleb Johnson. Caleb, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, we're doing good, man. Doing even better that we have you on the show, Caleb. Just talk to me about Valley, man. You guys got a lot of new players on your team coming in from the transfer portal out of high school. There's a lot of hype around Coach Dancy and you guys, the Delta Devils down there. How does it feel to be a part of this Valley football season headed into the 2022 season?
It feels good. This season, it kind of feels a little different, like you said, because now we have a lot of positive hype about us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not how it was the years prior, where it was kind of negative. It wasn't really a lot to talk about because they kind of expected us to be at the bottom. But how we ended the year last year, and with the transfers, as you said, the guys that we recruited coming in, so it's a lot of hype, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man, and you had a breakout season last year. But before we get into your years at Valley, I want to take it back some, man. You're from Memphis. You played ball in Tennessee. What was it like growing up in one of my favorite cities in the country, Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah, for sure. Memphis is Memphis. Like they say, we're really a basketball city, but recently within the last couple of years, we've had a lot of athletes go major D1, and I wouldn't change where I'm from. Memphis, you got to be there for real, for real.
So talk to me about football. Who first introduced you to football? Where did it come? Where did it start? And when did you start realizing that you actually enjoyed it and was pretty good at this game?
I started playing football when I was like five or six. My family is a football fanatic family. I got cousins right now that play Division I football.
Okay.
I played at Memphis. My dad, he played at UT Martin. So it just been in our genes, really.
Oh, and so your family plays ball, dad plays ball. You go to high school. Before you got to high school, or was it a time that you realized like, hey, I was pretty good? And what was that moment kind of like?
All right. So it was pretty much my whole like little league football. I was always the best. Well, I would say not the best, but one of the better players on the team. And so that kind of just translated from elementary to went on the middle school ball, and I just kept being, one of the top players of the team, and it just came naturally to me.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. High school, that's when I really started having a blast because it just got more competitive. I understood the game better. And so I really just started enjoying the game there. And then, of course, college, that just took it to another level as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about high school, man. You went to your high school. What was your high school called again down in Memphis?
I graduated from Memphis Academy of Health Sciences.
Okay, but I know there's a lot of good schools. There's Christian Brothers. There's Lausanne down in Memphis. And, I know a little something. I told you. I know.
Okay, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So, what made you decide to finish up there at the school that you went to?
I went there because my dad he had ran the school, so I ended up transferring maybe about 10th grade maybe, and so I went there. Family environment close, and then so I ended up playing football and basketball there. Actually, two-sport athlete, and
Better throw that out there.
I can hoop a little bit,
Okay, I was just about to get to that, man.
But yeah, it was a small school. We were 2A, and so I kind of built that up. We went like 5-5 my junior year. We didn't do too good my senior year though, but we had athletes though for real though.
And so talk to me, okay, so with a team that's a smaller school and a team that may not have the best record, kind of what was recruiting like for you coming out of your school?
For me, I think at the time I was the only one to graduate that went D1. We had like 4 other guys that I think some went like D2 and some went NAIA. But for me, I ended up getting recruited from South Carolina. The game cost my junior year. They offered me and everything. So that was my only FBS offer that year. Waited too late. They ended up pulling the offer. So then going into my senior season, that's when I ended up getting a lot of FCS interest from Valley, UT Martin, ETSU. So that was some of the schools that were hitting me up, and then I ended up just choosing Valley. After
And
that's
so, yeah, that's awesome. Once again, we're talking to Caleb Johnson, running back at Mississippi Valley State. Now, Caleb, what was it about Valley? Was because Coach Dancy, was he and his staff part of recruiting you? I know he got there around the time you got there, but what was that like? And what was it about the Delta Devils that made you decide to go ahead and choose them?
Okay, yeah, I came in like I think Coach Dancy got hired maybe in January, and then I
Yeah.
ended up signing in like February, like right after that. So I was like in that first class that
Yeah.
brought in, and so him and Coach Terrence Barron recruited me, and Coach Wade, he's actually at Delta State now, so we actually got to play them in the fall. But that's how I got there. Then Valley's only maybe like an hour and a half from Memphis, so I
Oh, I
was
didn't know that.
yeah, so I was big on just kind of being close to home.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I met with Coach Dancy, and the rest was history. I felt like I could trust Coach Dancy, and I could. And you see what we're kind of building here, that we're still building here. So,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. In Valley, I feel like is a school, like you said, hasn't always gotten the best press, but what you guys are starting to build, and not just on the recruiting trail, but actually like on the field. Let's talk about on the field stuff. When you first get to Valley, what were your thoughts about the school and about, you got a brand new coach and you got
yeah.
a program that was still working. What was those early years at Valley like for you?
The early years at Valley was rough at first. Um, I think I got red shirt in my true freshman year, not playing much, but then my red shirt freshman year, I started playing. I got in the rotation middle of the season, took over to like the starting role. COVID came.
Yeah. Oof.
After that, and then I just took off after that. But that's what it seems like. But I love Valley though. But when I first got there, it ain't. I never heard of Valley. You know what I'm saying, until they called me, and it was only like I said, an hour and a half away. I'm like, I never heard of this school. Looked them up. It wasn't too good when I looked them up, but I was like, let me just go down and let me see. And, and so, like I said, the rest is history after that.
Yeah, man, that's funny, man, because it's I mean, and this is no disrespect to anybody that's ever played at Mississippi Valley, but outside of like Jerry Rice, if you're a young man like yourself, like it's hard to know about a school like Valley. I mean, it's a smaller school, it's in a small town, and for the last few years, it wasn't a lot going on. It wasn't a lot to talk about, but now, what you guys have built, the foundation that Coach Dancy has built and what you guys are working towards it now is you can't just not hearing about Valley anymore. Like the way you're recruiting, the way you guys are playing on the field, ain't no more just like, I ain't never heard about the guys like yourself that's in Memphis or that's in that vicinity. I think will now know about what's going on at Mississippi Valley State. So let's talk about like some on the field performances, man. You talked about you redshirted that first year. A lot of people don't think about that. When you redshirt, you're not playing. What is that like to be someone? You've been the man at your high school. You go to a school, and they tell you, hey, we want to redshirt you, and you're not playing. What was that like for you mentally?
Mentally, that was tough because I remember getting the call because I think that was the first year that you can play like 3 or 4 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Eligibility. So I played in like 3 games. I was the leading rusher for 2 weeks. I don't know. We getting destroyed though, but I was the leading rusher. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. And so I think my dad ended up getting a phone call first that they were going to redshirt me. Then they ended up telling me at practice that they were thinking about redshirting me, but I didn't understand why at the time. So I was frustrated, kind of lashed out a little bit. Kind of, I was very, very upset, with
Mm-hmm.
it. But then that really was the best decision because now I saved that year. I really got 2 more years left to play because COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
So that saved me a lot. So,
Hey. That's awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. And Valley fans love to hear that too, man. They love to hear that they know they're gonna have you around for a while. I also want to ask you about the COVID year. In the SWAC, you guys didn't play in the fall. Obviously, you ended up playing in the spring, but take me back a little bit. I know it's been a couple of years now, but what was that like What was that phone call? Who called you about letting you know, like, yo, we're not playing in the fall and we don't know if we're going to play, when's the next time we're going to play football? What was that kind of experience like for you?
I remember being at school when we got sent home. First off, we were actually getting ready for spring ball. So we got sent home, everything in the world going on. So they were telling them that we're going to come back in the fall. Then we didn't have a season in the fall. Then it was like, we're coming back in the spring, going to have a season. So we played it was 6 games on the schedule, but I think we only played like 3 because we ended up catching cases and COVID and everything. So, it was crazy that first week we had to go play Jackson State. I think we only had maybe like 5 or 6 practices, like full-fledged practices.
Wow.
Because it had stormed, and then of course with the COVID, so our conditions aren't the best. So when it was storming, the fields turned real muddy. So we were like really like practicing in mud and like in clay. So it was just terrible. We didn't even want to go out there. So we got that together. Then I ended up breaking my hand right before the Jackson State game. So I played our spring season with a hard cast on, and that was the first season that I ended up making all conference, all SWAC, but with the broken hand.
It's pretty hard to play running back with a broken hand, man. I mean, you got to catch the ball, you got to protect the ball. What was that like for you?
And I remember I broke my hand on a Tuesday in individual drills, broke it, and I went to the doctor the next day, maybe about 11 that morning, and I made it back to Mississippi for practice at 3, wrapped it up. They wanted to see what I can do. I felt like I could play. And I'm glad I did, because that kind of just showed that anything is possible. I prayed about it, and God gave me the strength to go out there and perform. It wasn't too difficult, because I'm an athlete, I'm a baller, so I can catch.
Hey, yeah, it wasn't too difficult. Just had a hard cast on my hand.
But man, I remember sometimes they used to have me at receiver. It'd be like we going empty personnel. I'm like, I got a whole cast on my hand. They know I ain't ball for real, but they was throwing me the ball still. But that was fun though. Thinking back on it, I'll never forget that.
That's awesome, man. Once again, we're talking to Caleb Johnson, a Mississippi Valley State running back, all conference player. So, Caleb, you had your breakout season last year, 2021. I think, if folks didn't know about Caleb Johnson, they found out about Caleb Johnson. What was so special about that season for you, man? What were you able to do? Did you train any different? Do you feel like you got stronger in some ways? What was it about 2021 that you were able to really hit the scene and let folks know, hey, I'm here and I can play?
I really want to go back to that COVID. I really think that break of being away kind of refreshed, kind of hitting the reset button. It got me back going. I got back in the gym. I got back training again for real. And I feel like I got older, so the game slowed down. So I took what I was learning from the board to the field, coaching wise, and so that helped me out a lot. Really, with this season, I was able I got stronger as the games went on. A lot of people, would tell me. So that goes into our training and my off-season training as well. So that was what I was able to do this year, and I was able to lead the conference in rushing yards. I want to improve on that some more. It's still the thing that I need to work on for sure. That I'm working on now, so we can fix next season.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm looking at some of these numbers from this games. 123 rushing yards against Alcorn, 131 against Jackson State, 193 against Prairie View. What would you feel like 109 against Southern? What was your favorite game that you feel like you played, you did the best in, and what was it about that game that you had a lot of fun out there?
I would say top 2 just off the head would be Prairie View. When I went for like 193 last game of the season, and then of course the Jackson State game. Everything going against Jackson State, going against prime time, and going against one of the best defenses I feel like in the country, because them boys have some athletes, and just taking it to them and just having a good game and showing the world, really, showing the conference of what I could do.
Absolutely, man, and that is You really did. I mean, you did exactly what you said because, like you said, Jackson State had a lot of hype, and they still do, obviously, because of their coaches, because some of the names they brought in. But you went in there and it did work, and not just you, but the team. I mean, Valley really there and kind of, although you guys weren't able to come away with the win, I mean, you guys wreaked havoc in the backfield on defense. I mean, I think it kind of probably finished with like 5 or 6 sacks, and then you had 130 on the ground. Like, what was it about your team? It seems like you guys got better in every single week. What was it about last year's group that you can take into this year as far as getting better every week like you guys did?
I think it's just the mentality that our coaches put into us, that Coach Dancy put into us. It's just tough guy football. And when you're playing tough every week, you know what I'm saying, and playing with effort, you playing at 100 miles an hour, that really bridges the gap when you make mistakes and everything, and that kind of levels the playing field, just playing fast and playing hard and playing tough. So I think that if we can continue that and hone in on our mistakes and hone in again and just come more together, work on some more things, I think we'll be good to go in the fall.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, you spoke about it a little bit earlier, but I want you to touch more on, you said coming into this season, it's more like positive energy, right? Like normally, like there's these whatever I mean, I haven't played for Valley, but you played for Valley for some years now, and whatever those expectations weren't what you guys expected of yourself. But this year, with your recruits, with Coach Dancy being, more, he's gained some notoriety, and the way you guys performed on the field last year, there's like higher expectations. How do you think you guys will be able to adjust to more expectations being put on your team? Maybe some that you haven't seen over the last couple of years.
That's a good question. I feel like it won't be too much of an adjustment. Because I feel like we have a good leader in Coach Dancy, so he's gonna keep us, eyes on the prize, take it one game at a time, and we just gotta block out, what everybody else is saying, because who knows, we can be 5-0 and everybody on us, and then we can lose the next 6 straight. You know what I'm saying? Or the same people that gonna cheer for you gonna be the same people that gonna talk bad about you when you leave, when you get done, or when something goes wrong. So I think if we stay together as a team, and we'll be all right in the fall, and yeah, we'll be good.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You told me you're training right now before you head back to campus. What does a training day with Caleb look like? What time are you waking up? What are you eating? How is these workouts looking like? What's that? Break it down for me.
All right, so now I'm down in Texas right now, in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Everything is far. Everything is about 30. So, I get up like 5:45 ish.
Woo.
Brush my teeth, wash my face, get ready. I try to down me some water, just kind of get my body going, get a little fruit in me. Take that trip. I train at D1 with the speed guy named GA Juice. And so we're there from 7 to 9:30. It's 10 o'clock. Today was arm day actually today, so I know I'm looking a little rough right now. I'm tired. uh, I tried it down. Got to get that gallon of water in today. So, and after that, I'm probably about to chill. I probably do some more field workouts about 3 or 4 o'clock with my cousins down here.
Absolutely, man. So what is it? I mean, you had a 1,000-yard season. You were all conference. What are the things that you're working on now that, from last season that you want to see yourself improve in as far as on the field or maybe even off the field?
On the field, I want to improve on my speed, be more explosive. So those things that we're attacking now in training. I want to show that I can catch the ball more out of the backfield for this upcoming season. I just want to show that I'm more versatile a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What has it been like for you? I mean, obviously, since the arrival of Coach Prime over there at Jackson State, it's like a lot more eyeballs, or not just on Jackson State, but on HBCU football. What's that been like for you to be a part of this movement? I mean, because you're a star at your school, so what has it been like for you as far as seeing everything, all the more notoriety, not just for their school, but for all the schools, not just in the SWAC, but across the country?
It feels good. I feel like I know I'm living in the moment right now, but I feel like maybe like 10 years from now, I'm gonna look back on it and be probably even more proud of myself, because I know that I'm one of the people that kind of started this movement again, going and being a part of and playing a vital role in it. And so I'm excited about where I see HBCU football going, and players that are getting a fair opportunity, a fair scouting process to get a chance to even go to the next level. So I'm very
Absolutely.
excited about that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, and I always ask when I have, whether it's recruits or current players on the podcast, I always ask them, like, I wish you the best. I hope you play professional football for 10, 15 years, but eventually football ends and you're still a young man. What are some things that you want to do once football is over with, whether it be in the community as far as a career, or what are some of those things for you?
For sure. I always wanted to stay around the game, so I'll probably end up coaching or go into fitness like I'm doing now, training, and so it's all gonna play a major part. Going back into my community, and actually my cousin, he has a training group called 901 Phenom, and that's back in Memphis. So they train like 7-on-7 kids, O line, D line, skill work. So that's the kind of things that I want to do as well.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Caleb Johnson of Mississippi Valley State. Now, Caleb, what are, outside of football, man, what are some of the things you enjoy? What are some of the things you do to wind down, whether it's, go fishing, play video games? What are some of those things that you enjoy?
Oh, me, I love video games. So
okay.
I know when I get done with this, I'm probably about to go hop on the game or something.
Are you Madden? Are you 2K? Are you Xbox? Are you PlayStation?
I play Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, and I'm a PlayStation guy.
You're a PlayStation, huh?
Yeah.
So is anybody on the team better than you at Madden at 2K? Like,
no, nobody.
So nobody on Valley is better.
I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
I was gonna say somebody gotta be better than you now. Come on.
Okay, my roommate, my past roommate, Caleb Brunson, he used to give me the business in 2K. I used to play MLB The Show. And I think he beat me like 6 or 7 games straight. But otherwise than that, ain't nobody else. I don't know what he be on for real, because he a real. But anybody else, they ain't seen me though, for real.
I got you. And being from Memphis, I told you it's one of my favorite cities, man. Okay. What are your favorite places to eat in Memphis? What is like your go-to spot when you, I know you don't live that far from home, but when you head back home, it's like, I gotta go to, is it Gus's Chicken? Is it somewhere else? Like, what are we talking about?
All right, so for me, I love wings. So I would probably go to order some Rayford wings, or I would
Rayford. You said Rayford?
Rayford's.
Okay, I gotta remember. I gotta remember this, man. I'm gonna be back down there.
or I go to Crumpy's. Now, when that wings did, the wings are kind of hot now because they don't really serve no party wing. It's the whole. So
don't worry. If it's some wings, I can dig it. I can get down for it. I'll pay a few dollars for some wings.
I'm like a whole 10-piece. Probably that's gonna run you probably about 25.
But it's gonna be worth it though. If you bring it up, it must be
for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be busting.
Yeah. Hey, that's good, man. That's good. Well, Caleb, man, I get you out on this, man. Just for the fans at Valley, they're ready to see you guys, take the SWAC by storm in this fall. Oh, we still got you. Oh, here we go. They're ready to see you guys take the SWAC by storm in the fall of 2022. What do you got to say to the Valley faithful about this year's team and what are the what you guys plan on doing this fall? The floor is yours, my friend.
I am glad that you said this. I want to thank all the Valley alumni, friends, and anybody that just supports us. For everything that you've done. I know we had to raise a fundraiser, I think, for like $50,000. And for Coach Dancy, so that we can order all the things that we need for this upcoming season. So I want to thank them for that. So we're gonna repay them back by being very competitive in the fall, packing at the stands, giving them a show. Try to bring back the Willie Tide and the Jerry Rice days, really.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, they killed that fundraiser, by the way. I haven't checked it in a while, but last I saw it was over 60,000. So yeah, they really
it went up.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely went past 50. It was at 60 when I last seen it. It was at 61. So who knows? It might be hovering around 70,000 by the time, in the next right now. So, but Caleb, man, I appreciate it. Hey, good luck to you. Congratulations on everything you've done. Good luck to you this fall. And also congrats on joining the greatest fraternity in the world, the Young Neo, Spring 2022. He's an alpha man. Yeah, but this is
They
yeah.
the greatest champ in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, appreciate it, man. Good luck to you this season, and we will be looking forward to all your success this fall. This is Caleb Johnson of Mississippi Valley. Say thank you guys for tuning in, and we will